Hello, anyone not still living in the 1970s. We interrupt your day to bring you this announcement. Husker Ninja is in the building. Alright, guys, today we are here with episode number 24 of the Northern Iowa Panthers Dynasty right here on NCAA 14. Today we've got our conference home opener against the Florida International Panthers. 1 week coming after our first loss of the season on the road in the conference opener against Florida Atlantic. As we take a look at the Conference USA standings, you can see Northern Iowa is currently 4-1 overall, but they did lose their conference opener last week. And Florida International won their conference opener, but they're 3-2 overall. We'll see who can come out here with a win today in Cedar Falls. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the UNI Dome in Cedar Falls, Iowa, as we got some Northern Iowa football on tap for you today between your Panthers and the Florida International Panthers. The Panthers return here for their home conference opener after losing the overall conference opener last week by like 10 to Florida Atlantic. Northern Iowa will return to start the game, and Hawley's going to take it from his own one. Hawley's got a block along the edge. He's across the 41-man to beat. Can he do it? Breaks the tackle, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the end zone. What a return by Hawley, and that'll set up the Panthers up with the first and goal as they start this game. It's a second goal from the one. Bailey will keep it himself into the end zone. And Northern Iowa capitalizes on the excellent opening kickoff return by Hawley, and they strike first with 6. 7:13 to go first quarter. Northern Iowa is up 7-0 pending the extra point. As we got a studio update for you here, Purdue goes into East Lansing and upsets number 3 Michigan State 33-30. Appleby threw for 364 yards and 4 scores for the Boilermakers, and that is Michigan State's second loss of the season. Elsewhere, Marshall holds on against Louisiana Tech 20-17. The Thundering Herd improved to 5-0, while Louisiana Tech falls to 2-4. The ensuing drive right here for Florida Atlantic, they got a first down, looking to respond to Northern Iowa's quick touchdown drive on their opening possession. And down goes McGow, sorry. Chris Hefner there for the sack for the Panthers, and it'll be 2nd and 19. The pocket collapsed. There wasn't really anyone open. McGow looking to try and find somewhere to run, but there was none. And that'll set up a second and long here for Florida International. We got back to pass, feel the pressure, down he goes again. Loss of 8 more, it's Michael Johnson, the true freshman defensive end. Michael Johnson continuing a hot start to his collegiate career as he racks up a sack right there, and it'll be 3rd and a mile coming up for the Panthers. Well, they wouldn't get the first down, and so they would just run up the middle, and that'll set up a punt. Northern Iowa figures to get good field position. Hawley already had a nice kickoff return. Jarvis Hawley an 11-yard punt return right there, and Northern Iowa will set up shop inside the Florida Atlantic 40. It's a 2nd and 8 right now. They'll give it up the middle to Charles. Andrew Charles up the middle for 10 yards and another Northern Iowa first down. 2 carries, 12 yards for the freshman halfback. And Northern Iowa's on the move again, looking to go up 14-0 here early. Throws over the middle, got Joel Hood, 10 more yards. It'll be 2nd and inches as a true freshman wideout comes up with a nice grab there. They're driving out 2nd and inches. Bailey's going to take off, keep it himself. He's got 7 yards and another first down. Northern Iowa's got it, 1st and goal. And they were unable to do anything with it. They will have to settle for a field goal, and Dorsey's attempt is right through the uprights. So it's 10-0 Northern Iowa here, 2:44 to go, first quarter, a 3rd and 5. Florida Atlantic's going to try and run it, and they're going nowhere. Blown up in the backfield by Chris Hefner. The run does not work, and that's another 3 and out for Florida Atlantic as Northern Iowa looks to add on to a 10-0 lead. Bailey throws over the middle, got a man, it's Mitchell. Adam Mitchell, 14 yards and a first down for Northern Iowa. Both true freshman wideouts have made some nice grabs today. It's 3rd and 3, going deep, overthrows a man. Looked like maybe he had someone breaking open deep, but Bailey overthrew him. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 3. Throws on the slant, caught by Hood for 6 yards and a first down. 2 catches, 16 yards for Hood. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Northern Iowa leads it 10 to nothing through 1. We'll see if they can continue this hot start for 4 quarters, as they fell apart in the second half last week. 2nd and 9 here to begin the second quarter. Bailey going deep. That's picked off. Picked off by Wilson, and there's the first turnover of the game. It looked like maybe he had, if he had thrown it over, the defender came out to make the play because it was underthrown. If he throws it over, maybe he gets a catch. But that was not a well-thrown ball at all by Aaron Bailey. And the Florida International defense comes up with a turnover. 2nd and 11 now after Jay Nelson going to take down Maxwell in the backfield. He got hit immediately on first down, and it's only a loss of 1. The later of the drive now facing a 3rd and 11. McGall, they want the screen, and Hefner's not having any of it. He takes down Maxwell for a loss of 5. The screen had nothing doing, and this Northern Iowa defense continues to be dominant so far. It really wasn't their fault they lost last week either. It was too many turnovers on offense, and on 3rd and 6 on the ensuing Northern Iowa drive, Hood can't come up with the catch, and the Panthers will have to punt it away. Florida International looking to finally try and get something going on offense. And on first down, they're going to throw for a gain of 11 to Dennis Turner. He just had enough for the first. Later in the drive, now Florida International facing 2nd and 2. McAllister's got a man. It's caught for a gain of 7 over the middle, and another Florida International first. McGow 4-6 for 21 yards. Later in the drive, now 2nd and 5. McGow wants to take off. He's going to be brought down for a gain of 1. That'll be Johnson there to make the play. It looked like maybe he would be brought down in the backfield, but he sort of got away. But Johnson's momentum also carried him to the turf. 3rd and 5. There's finally a 3rd down conversion right there. That's caught on the slant. Tack on 15 more for a face mask. Eric Hicks, the corner, is the guilty party there. And now all of a sudden the Panthers have it first down at the 30 of Northern Iowa. Later in the drive, now they're facing a 3rd and 11. And a man in motion here for the Panthers on 3rd and long. McGall, they go to the screen. There's Maxwell. Maxwell's going to be brought down after a short gain, and it'll be 4th and 9. And we'll see if they go for it or if they just take the 3. They will settle for the 3 points. And with 3:18 to go in the first half, Northern Iowa leads it 10-3 over Florida International. That was a good-looking kick there by the Florida International kicker, too. 2nd and 1 on the ensuing drive. They'll give it to Charles. Charles has the edge along the sideline into the Florida International territory on a gain of 24. 6 carries, 45 yards for Charles. And now Northern Iowa's got a good chance to maybe add on to this lead, as they are looking to extend their lead here before halftime. Bailey feeling the pressure. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10. Big time sack there by Trayvon Williams. It'll set up a 3rd and 20 for Northern Iowa. And Bailey has not had a great first half. He's got the interception. He does have a rushing touchdown, but he's also misfired on many passes. He's had people home and he just missed people. Not a great day throwing, and that's going to be another interception. Another underthrown ball. Again, probably not the greatest decision, but when you don't make good passes, like when you don't throw it well, it doesn't matter how great your decisions are. Even when he's had people wide open, he's overthrown them. And now Florida International a chance to somehow tie it before halftime despite being outplayed for almost the entire first half. McGall on first down, though, going down, loss of 5. Nice sack there by this Northern Iowa defense. It'll set up a 2nd and 15 here Now it looks like Hefner was the first one to him again. And Hefner has had himself a nice first half right here. Now it's 3rd and 15, laying the drive. McGow feeling the pressure. Down he goes! McGow is sacked for a loss of 9. It's Michael Johnson again. And that's going to be intercepted again on the ensuing drive. Just a face mask on the tackle, but that is the 3rd first half interception by Bailey today. And he has just been terrible. He is terrible. He hasn't necessarily made the best decisions, and that one I will blame 100% on the decision making. But when you have open men and you're continuing to overthrow them and it's only like a 7-yard pass, you are not doing well. Something has gotten into Bailey, and he's got to get it figured out in a hurry. Otherwise, this season could go downhill fast. Well, 1st and 10 following the good field position off the turnover. There's Maxwell for a gain of 12 and another Florida International first down. Then their drive, 2nd and goal, 36 seconds left in the first half. And Maxwell going to be blown up for a loss of 1. He's hit in the backfield. They'll set up a 3rd and goal. McGow back to pass. Got a man. Caught by Turner. He's going to roll over the defender and get into the end zone. And all of a sudden, Florida International has tied this game pending the extra point thanks to just an absolute implosion by Aaron Bailey. And Sawyer Cole Morgan has come into the game for Northern Iowa. He's going to fire a strike right there to Taylor Otterstatter, good for a gain of 34. We'll have a Hail Mary here to end the half. Caught by Hood, but he's going to be tackled at about the 5. Joel Hood, a 46-yard gain to end the half. But Northern Iowa doesn't get any points off of it. So we've hit halftime here in Cedar Falls. Northern Iowa and Florida International tied at 10. And the Northern Iowa Panthers have made a change at quarterback, it would appear, as Bailey has been benched following 3 first-half interceptions. Florida International with a 1st and 16 to begin the second half. Got a man wide open. It's Justin Green for 37. And they're on the move again, and you can just see it has a very much of a deja vu to last week when Northern Iowa was in control for much of the first half. Late in the first half, Bailey started throwing picks. Florida Atlantic got on a roll, and Northern Iowa was unable to stop their momentum, and they took the loss. They really need a play to try and avoid something similar happening, and that'll help. Michael Johnson with his 3rd sack of the game. It'll set up 3rd and 17. That's a nice way to try and stop a momentum gaining drive there by Florida International where they're trying to take the lead. McGow feeling the pressure, hit by Johnson as he throws. And Michael Johnson's pressure is going to be enough to force a bad pass. Now it's 4th and 17 and Florida International's got a punt. Cole Morgan remaining in the game for Northern Iowa as on first down they'll give it up the middle to Andrew Charles for 13. 7 carries, 58 yards for Andrew Charles. And it's looking like Cole Morgan is going to continue to play until he starts to make mistakes. There goes Charles. Charles got a big hole in this Florida International defense. And he's all the way down to the Panthers 30. He got 1 block. He hit the big hole. Had 1 man to beat. And that could have been a touchdown. Instead, it's a big gain there for Andrew Charles, a true freshman tailback. Now they'll give it to Graham, the fullback, later in the drive on a 3rd and 1. And Aaron Graham will go up the middle for 4. Another drive, it is 1st and 10. Throws, got Charles out of the backfield. That'll be good for a gain of 14. And so Andrew Charles even getting in on the receiving game now. Cole Morgan back to pass on 1st and goal. Throws to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Northern Iowa. It's Joel Hood on the slant. Cole Morgan, 5 of 9, 107 yards and a score. And Northern Iowa has taken the lead here with 4:20 to go in the first half. They'll be up 17-10 pending the extra point. But Hood got open on the slant. He made the catch. And the true freshman continues to have himself a solid start to his collegiate career as he's been getting more involved with the passing game here in the past few weeks. McGow throws, that's picked! Intercepted. He threw it off his back foot, and Butler going to make him pay. Northern Iowa gets their own turnover, and they have it inside the 40 of Florida International. So they got the big sack to set up a 3rd and long on the opening drive of the first half. March down the field, take a touchdown. They get an interception, and the momentum has shifted. Northern Iowa with a chance to try and take control of this one. Cole Morgan throws, got Mitchell down to the 20, gain of 11, first down, Northern Iowa. They're in the red zone again. 2:50 to go. 3rd quarter, it's first down. Cole Morgan going to the end zone. That's caught! But they're going to say he's out of bounds. That looked like a catch to me, and Northern Iowa will challenge it. But what a throw there by Sawyer Cole Morgan. Right in the back of the end zone. Otterstatter. It looks right there like he's got a foot in. I think that should be 6. It looks like he's got a foot in. And the call is going to be upheld. To me, that looks like 6. But the officials disagree. The call stands. And it'll set up a 3rd and 9 now. They'll go to the screen. There's Charles. Charles going to put on the spin move and get the first down. He spun out of a tackle, goes upfield and gets the first. Andrew Charles, a true freshman, continuing to show why he has earned the starting role. Aaron Bailey checks in, and they'll run the read option, and Aaron Bailey's into the end zone for a touchdown. Northern Iowa leads it by 2 scores now. So they brought Bailey in because he's more of a running threat. And they brought him in he gets a touchdown. As we take a look at the total defense, they have allowed under 100 yards of offense here through basically 3 quarters. It is 3rd and 4 here, ensuing drive for Florida International. They'll give to Maxwell. Maxwell's not going to get the first. It'll be 4th and 2, as that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Northern Iowa has outscores Florida International 14-0 here in this 3rd quarter, and they take the 24-10 lead going into the final quarter here in Cedar Falls. It is a 4th and 2 as we begin the 4th, and they're going to go for it. That's going to be just enough for the first down, as Jordan Gibbs will get a gain of 2. So Florida International will keep the chains moving. Later in the drive, though, now facing a 3rd and 6. Man in motion for Florida International as they're trying to get back into this game. Miguel feeling the pressure, throws incomplete. Nice coverage there by Chris Sears. And they'll set up a 4th and 6. And instead of going for it again, Florida International will punt. And in comes Tyvis Smith for Northern Iowa. He checks into the game in the backfield, gets the carry for a gain of 13. 3rd down and 3 here for Northern Iowa. Cole Morgan back to pass. Got Mitchell on the slant. Adam Mitchell a gain of 6. First down, move those chains for Northern Iowa. Now they got it out about midfield. It's 2nd and 4. They'll give to Charles. Charles going to break a tackle, go forward for a gain of 7. And they'll give him 13 carries, 115 yards on the day, averaging 8.8 yards a carry. Back into the game comes Tyvis Smith. It is 2nd and 9. Cole Morgan back to pass. Got him, man. It's Taylor Otterstatter. 12 yards and a first down for Northern Iowa. Otterstatter 2 catches, 46 yards. They'll give to Smith up the middle. Smith drags a defender with him. He'll get a first down. And Tyvis Smith, 7 carries, 45 yards, as he's looking to continue to run now that Charles has gone over 100 and they don't really want to see him get injured. They will let Tyvis Smith continue to get some playing time because he did well for him last year. In comes Charles now. In a goal-to-goal situation, he'll go up the middle for 3. So Charles comes in to give a breather to Tyvis Smith, and that is a touchdown for the true freshman, as he's going to walk into the end zone absolutely untouched. 2:06 to go in the game, and all of a sudden they've opened up a 21-point lead on Florida International. A reminder, folks, this game was tied at halftime. Miguel going deep. Knocked away by Butler, nearly picked off. That'll be a turnover on downs. And so this Northern Iowa defense, with the exception of a couple drives off of that started off of Aaron Bailey interception, But they were given short fields. They gave up scores on 2 drives late in the first half. Other than that, they played a wonderful game. They'll give to Charles on 2nd and goal. Charles going to lose a yard right there. And now they'll set up a 3rd and goal as the clock winds down. They'll give to Smith. Smith puts on a spin move. Tyvis Smith into the end zone. Touchdown, Northern Iowa. The senior tailback scores with 5 seconds left, and that'll put an exclamation point on this second half. 1 week after a second half meltdown that started after a couple of turnovers late in the first half that led to a loss to Florida Atlantic. Northern Iowa rebounds from 3 second quarter interceptions by Aaron Bailey. They bring in Sawyer Cole Morgan, and they dominate the second half, outscoring Florida Atlantic 28 to nothing there in that second half. As we take a look at the team stats, you can see really Northern Iowa controlled from start to finish. It was just those 3 second quarter turnovers that kept it close going into the locker room. Cole Morgan, a 163 QB rating, went 9 of 15, 146 yards, 1 score. Bailey had a QB rating of 0, went 3 of 11 for 30 yards and 3 picks. And Bailey does definitely add something to this offense running the football, but it appears as if Sawyer Cole Morgan is the better passer. Andrew Charles, 19 carries, 133 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry. He had a score. Smith had 10 carries, 63 yards, averaged 6.3 yards a carry. He also had a touchdown. And Bailey had 5 carries, -5 yards, and 2 scores. Graham chipped in 2 carries for 5 yards. But it'll be interesting to see how the QB situation plays out from here, as Mitchell and Hood and both had 4 receptions actually. Hood also had 2 drops. Hood had 66 yards, Mitchell had 40, and Otterstadt and Charles both had 2 receptions. So not much in the way of catches for this receiving core, but they made the most of them, especially once Cole Morgan came into the game. Defensively, Hefner and Michael Johnson both had 5 tackles. Hefner had 4 for loss. Nelson Parker had 4 tackles. Madsen and Alexander had 3. They were about 4 with 2, and a host of Panthers players with 1 tackle. And Hefner's 4 tackles for loss did lead the way for this defense. Johnson was right behind him with 3. Alexander had 2. Cooper, Nelson, and Parker each had 1. Sacks, Michael Johnson had 3. That was the most for this team. Hefner had 2, and Jameel Alexander had 1. Tommy Butler had the interception. And just all in all, a great defensive game, with the exception of those 2 drives toward the end of the first half, which, like I said, resulted from short fields after interceptions. But it'll be interesting to see how the QB situation plays out from here. I was wildly impressed with Sawyer Cole Morgan, and I believe he should have had 2 passing touchdowns. But we will send it out to our studio for a post-game wrap-up. Our final score here, Northern Iowa 38, Florida International 10. As we get ready to take a look at the recruiting board, Northern Iowa adds some more commitments in defensive tackle Darius Hayden. He's committed, just beefing up on commitments. He is a 72 overall type player. He's got some good strength, pretty good tackle, decent play recognition actually for a defensive end. But he is from Lake Providence, Louisiana. They also got Marcus Johnson, an athlete from North Salt Lake, Utah. He's going to commit, and it looks like he's probably either a running back or a receiver, honestly. But you know what? You can always use some more receivers and some more running backs. There's especially going to be in need of a backup as Tyvis Smith graduates after this season. So I'm sure they'll find a spot for Marcus Johnson. They also got John Terrell, a guard from Cheviot, Ohio. He's more of a run blocker, but his pass blocking and impact blocking are not terrible. Elsewhere, they've also got some new names on the recruiting board to talk about, but we'll get to that as we come to it. The most important thing, obviously, is the potential QB situation. As we mentioned, Cole Morgan played well. He should have had 2 touchdowns. I do believe the challenge should have been overturned. I thought that was 6. He had 1 foot on the line, but 1 foot in. In college, you only need 1 foot. But I think he's got to get the start going forward. They'll definitely keep Bailey in the mix. I mean, give him some, especially when they come in for the option. That would be nice because he's more of a running threat. But you can just see some of the names they've added, looking at people who are maybe underlooked so far this season. They're going to try and add some of them. You can see right here they're looking at Jesse Powell, a receiver from North Carolina. And he would be a really good player if they could get him. They've also got Cedric Mills, another receiver being overlooked right now. He's from Mayfield Heights, Ohio. They got some more tackles on the board. They still got their tight end. And number 1 target is still the receiver from Red Oak, Iowa. I mean, he's still got to be target number 1. He's good. He would help them continue in their quest to strengthen / build a pipeline in Iowa, because I don't think they have an Iowa pipeline yet. They might have one, but I don't know, it's close. Chase, they're dropping right now, so just adding some new names as they gain some commitments. It'll be interesting to continue to track here throughout the rest of the season, see how these battles progress. But for right now, recruiting looking good. That will do it for me, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone.